Hello everyone, it's Michelle from All-in-One Life Coaching. And again, we have a new question.
What if you, the human, feels totally consumed by an emotion that's below the line, like consumed completely, that you can't see out of it? How do you, because I know you were saying change, think of something different, or, I know you've mentioned before, like watch a video on cats, or go for a walk or something like that. But if you're so consumed and in a state almost, let's say, of depression or something, how can you get out of that?
Well, so first...
It's probably a big question.
It's a great question though, because if you're already consumed by an emotion, we've already been going down the rabbit hole for a while, because we just don't go from humans from having a great day to complete depression. There's stuff that happens in between there, right? And that could be anything, because part of our life experience is simply to have those experiences so we can expand and figure out what it is that we want, right? And oftentimes we need those negative experiences to have that clarity, right? So first, if we are already way down that rabbit hole, the nice thing from the human is, number one, knowing we don't want to be there, right? We do. We know, because it sucks. It sucks just not to feel good. It sucks to feel like the world is caving in, and it sucks to feel like life is over, and it just really sucks. And the laws of the universe, when we're there, because it's bringing us life experiences and more thoughts and more negativity along the way, it becomes even more difficult to come out of that. But the first indicator for the human is acknowledging, I don't feel good, right? And we always know when that is, because it's the opposite of being satisfied. We know pretty quickly when we don't feel good. And it's that decision in the moment that's really the kicker for the human, right? I don't feel good because I just witnessed something I don't like. It caused a bit of annoyance. I'm either going to go down the rabbit hole of annoyance, or I'm going to make a conscious decision right now to acknowledge that I just witnessed something I didn't like. So I'm going to make a decision. I have a choice to make. I'm going to do something that will distract me from that. And in my case, again, love the videos. There's lots of funny cat videos. Watched one yesterday, as a matter of fact, because it's just easy to get a laugh. And it really doesn't take long for that momentum to shift. It really, really doesn't. The interesting thing is, humans have gotten so used to kind of living miserably that they don't realize they're not really supposed to be there, so they don't make as much effort to feel good as they would to just simply stay where they are. As a matter of fact, it's even more interesting, because a lot of the time when we're not feeling good, we'll go seek out more stuff that helps us stay there, right? We might go search articles online that will coincide with our negative belief system, instead of doing the opposite of it. Go find something else that just feels better to read. And not because necessarily we're going to change the world in the moment. It just doesn't matter. You'll feel better. And ultimately, where you're at in this life experience is irrelevant to anybody else. It just is. Your life experience is your life experience. And being able to recognize a little sooner that we're not feeling good gives us that opportunity to make that decision that we're going to go look for something else. And I'm telling you, for somebody who believes this and practices this and meditates on a daily basis, I too will go down the proverbial rabbit hole from time to time, laugh at myself for doing it because I know what's happening, but yet not willing to give in, so to speak, not willing to forgive them, not willing to simply accept that for the moment, it just doesn't matter what anybody else on the planet is doing. I have an opportunity to focus wherever I want, no matter what. And the Michelle part of me that lives and breathes this wonderful life experience, more often than not, makes that decision to go look for something that's more pleasing. Doesn't mean that what's happening over there is right or wrong or indifferent. It just means that I'm no longer going to have that affect my life experience simply because if I look at something that doesn't feel good and I take action, it's the law. If I don't feel good and take action, I'm not serving myself or anyone else. And there's just no fun in that. And this life is about us having fun. So the first step is really making the decision to feel better. You, the human, you have to be willing to make that decision. And I assure you, it is what you're meant to do. You are meant to enjoy this life experience. You are meant to have fun. You are also meant to have those hiccups that help you decide whether or not you like this or not, right? And if we can just remember that we don't ever get to the extreme first, there's a process that's happening along the way, and just give yourself a break. Because when something really traumatic happens, don't expect yourself to be okay with it. Be okay with having those emotions of fear, rage, depression, and all of that, because it is part of the process. It really is. And whatever happened that could bring you to those places, it's the opposite of it that you want. It just is. We don't necessarily know that when we're in the throes of it, but it is the opposite of it. And when we can refocus to that, then we have a better chance of, number one, enjoying the life experience, no matter what the outcome is, because that's not what it's about. It's about the journey to it. We are meant to have the outcome we desire. We're just not really meant to care how necessarily it gets here, right? It's an unconditional life experience. We do things, when we do things from love and a helpful state, then it works out. And for some of those things that seemingly don't work out, they really did too. And when we can find a way to not necessarily have to completely just be okay with things like that, but we can understand the process, then for, the things out there that seemingly went wrong, we can either find a new perspective looking at it, or we just make a decision not to look at it at all. And when we can do that, I promise you, it just gets easier and easier, because the laws of the universe are going to respond to where you are. And when you're in a feel-good state, there's just no looking back. So just remember, everything happens exactly the way it's supposed to. When you're not feeling good, make a conscious decision to feel better. You don't have to need anything else to change. There are a lot of things at our fingertips. I encourage going outside, going for walks, playing with pets, starting a puzzle, coloring. It just doesn't matter. Anything that will distract you, that feels better than what you're doing, just do it and watch your world change. Thanks, everyone.